afternoon. It's time for the Tech Ambassadors webinar. I'm Jordan Chankis. I work at the ARC Westchester in Westchester County, New York. That's my contact information. I'd love to hear from you with any ideas on how we can use personal tech to empower folks. These are a fast-paced series of webinars targeted at the practical uses of technology, apps, web resources, and smart devices by people with cognitive disabilities. We're trying to provide clear, simple examples of how you can use tech at home, at work, in day services, and also in planning services. We have a whole bunch of webinars. If you go to this site, it'll take you to our listing. So today, I wanted to talk about the concept of folks with developmental disability and cognitive challenges and understanding things through print or through other visual means. So there is a site out in the United Kingdom called Beyond Words, and they have an app that they have started. Initially, they were just publishing books that were visual stories, and now they've expanded that to include ebooks. If you go to their app on the App Store, you'll see Beyond Words. It's a free sample that you can get from them, and the concept is that you can look at a story just with pictures or click on a button and add pictures to it. It depends upon your audience. There's some free stories available in the app. It's limited, but if you go and download it, it'll give you an idea of how they're trying to accomplish these social stories. It's available. Some of them are available free online, but they also sell paperback versions and some ebooks. It's in the UK, so converting the costs of like an ebook, it's around $6. And if you ask for a paperback version, that's about $15. And the paperback, of course, ships from the UK, so you have to take that into your purchasing decision. I like it, though, because it's a great way to engage people, either by just looking at the stories and let them create their own stories, or to read the text and improve their literacy. And all the subjects are very relevant to adult populations and teen populations with cognitive disabilities. And there's some frank things about hygiene for men and women, dating, proper relationships, all kinds of things, conflict resolution, you name it. There's a lot of things out here. Here's an example of a gentleman that isn't feeling too well, goes to the hospital, talks to the doctor, and the doctor is nice enough to show him some visual cues. And he's trying to assess how he feels. Various doctors examine him, poke him, prod him, get him ready for surgery. He goes into surgery, comes out, and he's a better man for it. It's a great example of just desensitizing a very anxious situation. So here's an example of someone that wants to lose a little bit of weight. Rose starts losing weight. So you can click on this little symbol over here and get the written parts for each of these cards. Each of these cards shows as a separate picture once you click on them. And you could say, what is this person doing? Well, if you don't have the text, you can just ask the crowd that's looking at this on the smart board or on a screen, any other screen. Oh, she's taking out a scale from the pantry. She's standing on the scale and weighing herself. You can ask your group, how do you feel about your weight? Does anybody want to lose more weight or get healthier? Here she's holding up a bathing suit, and it's kind of obvious she'd like to squeeze into it. So she starts a walking campaign, healthy eating, and look at that. The last picture is of her on a scale, looking much happier and much lighter. A great launch for discussions with the individuals we support. Another person, Here, Jane gets fit and healthy. So she goes with her friends to the health club, and a lot of these pictures span the spectrum of ages. Some are very young, some are, like these folks, seniors, and they're going for a swim. They meet some people outside the gym after they're coming out, and they offer a cigarette. No, thank you, I don't want that cigarette. And then she's weighing herself. She sees a dramatic drop in her weight. And then she's going with her family on a trip to the countryside. They have a picnic. And guess what? All the things that they're eating are very healthy. Fruits and vegetables. And Jane looks pretty happy. This is an example of just the individual picture. And you can have a whole discussion. How many people are in this picture? What are they doing? Do they look happy or sad? Do you like swimming? Do you know how to swim? Would you like to learn how to swim? Here's one that talks about conflict resolution. This lady, who I guess you would consider as your care manager, your social worker, sees, this guy pushes the other guy, and that's not right. Throws a cup at the wall in frustration. And what does he think of? Well, maybe I should call my care worker and talk about this with her. She comes over, tries to resolve the dispute between the two individuals. Each gets to talk about their position. Then they have a meeting of the minds. Apparently, this whole thing is about the guy didn't want to get dressed to go out for the day, and this other gentleman was planning a date on the town. And so now this guy gets dressed instead of staying in his bathrobe all day. And this other guy that got upset and threw a cup, he's cleaning up the debris. They're talking with each other, happy, and sharing some ideas for the future. So a great way to talk through resolving a problem. Again, some of this stuff is pretty frank. Hope no one's offended, but this young man is in a shower, and this is all about George likes keeping clean and smart. It shows George doing his morning ritual, showering, then clipping his nails, brushing his teeth, shaving, putting on deodorant, and he looks pretty snappy at the end of this whole process. But you could ask folks, hey, do you take a shower every day or a bath? Which do you prefer? How long do you stay in the shower? 30 seconds? Do you think that'll really get you clean? Maybe, maybe not. Do you make sure that you look pretty presentable for your job or going out into the community? It's endless, the stories that people can come up with. Instead of just reading the words, they can create a whole story. Maybe this guy's going on a big date and he's getting ready for his date. Maybe it's he's going for an interview. Whatever. Or maybe he's just going out into the world and this is how he takes care of himself every day. Great step-by-step kind of opportunity to have a discussion. My thought on this is, while some of these items are a little costly, especially in this day when everybody's watching their budget, whether it's an ebook or whether you get the paperback version, not to take away from beyond words, but can we do something similar at no cost? Can we plan a story that deals with somebody's real life experience, or maybe instruct people in how to do something, like maybe taking a bus or cooking for themselves or making a telephone call, a FaceTime call? Can we use pictures that we take on our tablet or phone of the individuals and have them be the actors in these pictures? And then there's so many apps out there. I love Book Creator and also PowerPoint. You can use these to tell your story. Book Creator is pretty cool because it naturally reads the book to people. Again, helping with the literacy issue that many of us face in this business. If we can do it on our own, isn't that great? We're giving people a chance to learn about their world, the things that everyone needs to know, and through this effort, helping them continue with their literacy exploration. I've been reading some things recently that in the past, people said, people with developmental disabilities cannot acquire literacy skills in their adult life. But there's many studies coming out now that are saying that's not true. There are ways to continue basic literacy. And what's more important in the world than literacy as far as your day-to-day activities, being able to read, communicate, however you do it, but it's such an essential thing, from filling out a job application to asking for help in an emergency, learning about the world, learning your job task, keeping in touch with friends and family. Literacy is an essential. If we can help people move from no literacy to basic literacy, what a great achievement that would be for all of us. So I'd suggest you try to take a look at Beyond Words, but also think about how you might be able to come up with a simple version right in your day program or in your residential setting or at home with your child. So much possibility in just the concept of simple stories that show people like themselves experiencing and learning about life. Next week, we're going to have another Tech Ambassador session. And again, visit our technology page at the ARC Westchester, and you'll get the chance to see lots of pre-recorded webinars from the past. A lot of stuff is up there. So I thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful spring day, and hope to talk to you soon.